Hey guys, this is Rishi from the chat. This is my first video recap. A little bit of background. I've been with Variable Traders as a lifetime member for 10 and a half months. I spent the majority of that time, the vast majority of that time, in sim, and then I've been trading exclusively live for about 2.5 months now. Um, and I just want to give a quick shout out to the community. I think it's such a great resource. I think the moderators and also other members who are sharing what they're doing. Um, yeah, I find this to be extremely useful, and I'm hoping to contribute some more in the future. I've just been very short on time, but I also think it's really important that we all share as much as possible, including myself, because there's a lot to be gained from our collective knowledge. So with that said, I traded two stocks today, AZN and MU. AZN, I was looking for two things right at the open on AZN. One was either a 1 minute or and this is a pattern that I don't have a name for it, but this is a pattern that I've been trading quite a bit and I really like. Is I noticed that I noticed that it was really respecting the 90 MA throughout the pre-market, and then the last 10-15 minutes of trading in the pre-market, the price started to extend away from the moving averages. So in cases like that, I look as soon as the market opens, I look for a pullback, either the 9 or the 20. In this case, I was expecting, considering this the selling pressure all through the pre-market, I was expecting that most likely would be to the 9, and then buyers would come in. In this case, the buyers came in even before it got to the 9 moving average, and I saw that. I saw the buying pressure on the time in sales. Saw just a flash of green here, and the other thing I saw was this coincided with a break of the candle body of the 15-minute range uh, for the very last 15 minutes of the pre-market. Um, so, and also a break above VWAP. So as soon as I saw all these things, I took a long position. This was actually a half-size position because I'm still very cautious about trading the first 5 minutes. And I trade in R's, so this is a half R for me. This was 1 R and then 2.5 Rs. And then I took half off here, half off at 2.5 Rs, and then I held another quarter position for a pullback. Pull back all the way to the 9 EMA on the 5, and then again, once again at the 9 EMA, got bought back up. As soon as it started getting bought back up again, this is a classic ABCD pattern on the 1. I went in full size, so even more. It's not only bought back all my shares that I had earlier, but I bought even more. I went full size position and then scaled out all the way up, all the way to about 43.30ish. And then the second trade I took was MU. This was a 2-minute bearish engulfing. I saw some quick buy-in at the open, and right at 48.70, there was strong rejection, and the price action dropped like a rock. And as I saw this happening, I told myself that if it doesn't hesitate through these moving averages in VWAP, if it cuts right through it, I'm gonna take this short, essentially uh, anticipating an engulfing pattern, which is what happened here. This way I get a really good risk to reward. I actually scaled out 100%, not scaled out, I actually took off 100% of my position at 2-to-1 here. And the reason I did that is because I had this AstraZeneca trade open, the AZN trade open as well. And at this time of the day, I think it's just very difficult to properly manage two trades manually. So I put a 2-to-1 rage order in as soon as I got in this position, and I went back to watching AZN, and I said, whatever happens, happens. So I got my 2 Rs here. I could have gotten more, but I'm content with it because I also think I made the right decision in focusing on one trade and not trying to juggle two different trades. And then I took a couple other trades. This was a quick previous day close bounce. I saw multiple bounces on the 1-minute chart off the previous day close. Saw a pretty good risk reward back to the 90 EMA. I think in retrospect, this is a little under 2-to-1, and I shouldn't have taken this trade. I did make a little bit on this, but in retrospect, I probably shouldn't have taken that trade. And then I took a second trade, another rejection. I really like trading these rejection plays. I took a second trade on MU. Again, this is a rejection off the 200 moving average on the 5-minute chart. I saw multiple bounces off the 200 moving average. So I set my stop just below the moving average and then got a bounce all the way and took some off. This is a little over 1-to-1 and then took the rest off around 2-to-1. And that was it. And at that point, I got my daily goals about. My daily goal is 3 hours. I was at about 5.5 hours for the day, so I surpassed my goal. And so I told myself I'm just going to stop and do some other things with the rest of my day, including making this video recap. So thanks to everybody. Thanks to Andrew and Brian, the rest of the community, for all that you do. And I'm hoping in the future to contribute as well. Thanks.